We are back here on Girl Talk, and we are having a ball. Joni Vanderslice has joined us to talk about all of her new creations. But actually, in the interim, we were talking about your two girls and their creations, and just talking about how different kids are, what they love. But it translates to design and looks and what's new. What are you doing this year?
Well, as you know, we have the J. Banks Collection furniture line, and each market we add 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever works.
Sometimes 12.
Yeah, some new pieces. And the pieces are always inspired by what I see when I travel.
Okay.
Or what I wish I had for a job. We were working on a job in Vail this past spring, winter. We're still working on it. Just finished an installation there, and we'll do the big installation before ski season. But in designing the lobby, I realized, oh, we're missing some pieces that would work for this kind of application. So you get out your inspirations, and we designed some pieces specifically with that job in mind that will be used in this lobby.
Do you gather your designers together and say, here's in my mind what I wish I had? How can we pull all of these brains in together and actually put it together and then sketch?
They tend to come to me as they see ideas. But when it comes down to it, it's fairly informal. Randy Short, who owns Stanford Furniture, for whom I design, and we have a collection within his line, he'll come to see me and say, what have you seen lately?
Okay.
And what do you have in mind? And then he'll tell me what he's seeing as he travels around the country and what the designers they're selling to all over the country are responding to. Fortunately, since we've started the collection, we have 2 of the top sellers in the entire line.
It's on the cover of that magazine.
Well,
I
mean, that's huge.
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
What are you seeing? What are we as consumers looking for, well, as designers and then as consumers, looking for in our furnishings these days?
Well, I think people are looking for a little whimsy.
Okay.
If you have a traditional home, people are wanting to throw in that piece that just makes it a little less formal.
I love watching you two over here talk because
like
like,
shoulders.
Yeah,
we spelled like this.
And you know what that means.
know what that
We get it. We get it. We get
We
it.
just want to have a little more fun with it. And we can take some of our pieces. We've taken an old wing chair, actually, that I found, it's just sitting right here, that I found at a market in England. And this was designed from that. We took it, brought it home, it's actually sitting in my living room, and looked at the lines and did a little interpretation to take a wing chair to a more contemporary look. But it's still a wing chair, you know what it is.
And then it's like perfect, because that's in patent leather, so look how funky and contemporary that is, but then put it in a plaid, and you've got your old wing chair, but with cool lines to it.
Are you seeing that people really want a sense of personal identity?
Oh yes. I think that when people used to say, I want a traditional home or a French country home or I want coastal, whatever it is, now they're more willing to mix it up. I don't think the general consumer is at ease with mixing it up. And that's where we as designers can help them, and that's where this line helps. All of our finishes for the line, if it's a leg of a chair, if it's a chest, you can take any Benjamin Moore paint color and make it, I mean, these pieces are lacquered, or a number of, I think we have 50 finishes as well. So it can be from a light pine to a scrub to an antique kind of mahogany, anything.
And even our lacquers can go from a doll lacquer all the way to like a high gloss of a baby grand piano.
Yeah. When I'm buying a piece of furniture, how do I view that? Do I view that as an investment? Do I view it as something that I would like to keep in my home for years to come? How do you encourage or talk your clients through that process?
I think most people look at it as an investment. I know even for me, it's hard for me to get the energy, if you will, to wrap my brain around changing something in my own home. I mean, it takes a great deal of effort, and furniture's not inexpensive. Where you can change your lamps and your accessories, I think that chest or that sofa, people want that to last for 7, 10, 15 years according to what their timeline is and the amount of use. But So we do look at it as more of an investment.
I think it's so exciting to even talk about this. It really is something I think we all want to know about. I'd like to go back and talk about some of the things that you specifically have designed for this year. What are you most proud of, or what are you excited about?
Well, this year we've done a wide track arm, and for those not in the lingo of the industry, basically, if you look at some of the Italian lines, of course, with our project in Italy, a lot of the inspiration comes from going to those vendors and to those shows in the Paris Show Maison. And what's difficult to find, unless you go to those Italian lines that are very expensive, would be just a really clean, wide track arm, contemporary sofa, sectional, or chaise lounge. So that's one thing we're doing, we're excited about. We're also doing some taller back. We've always played with scale, having taller back pieces. I know we talked about the dining banquette that everyone loves because it's so tall and it's a great feeling in a room when it's up against a wall rather than having to do the buffet and the artwork. So that's been a real popular piece. Well, we're doing the same thing with sofas so that you take the back really high and you feel enclosed. If you're in a lobby, in that huge space, a lot of times you walk into a lobby and you don't really want to sit down.
Right.
Yeah, you feel so exposed.
You do.
Well said.
That's
Exactly.
a great word.
You do.
Yeah.
So you have this high back and this little wing, and suddenly
You're in
you
a
can
nook.
sit here with your friend and you're in a nook and you feel comfortable in that huge space. So that's what that is about. But people love them in our two-story ceilings we have in contemporary great rooms.
I think it's so interesting, again, to get a professional designer's point of view. And I think every time I talk to you both, I realize how important it is. Hiring a professional designer can really make the difference between a pretty house and a great home.
All of our clients have great taste. We're not there to dictate their taste or what they like or their particular interest. What we want to do, as you know, is pull that together and we can visualize. We have the gift of visualizing what we're talking about and throwing that whimsy and funk and personality into it.
Oh, it's so interesting. And again, there's so many great things to see. I have to pitch everything. Yeah, I'd love to see some of
Sketches,
those.
original
Exactly, sketches, all of those.
showroom
But I have to
shots.
pitch J. Banks Design here and say, if you haven't had a chance to come in the showroom, we're talking about all these great new pieces that you, kind of the anchors to the room. But coming into the showroom to just sort of
great.
change it
It's
up,
fun.
seasonal it out, whimsy it up.
Yeah, I have fun coming down to see
I
what's
mean-
coming in new, and
It is incredible. It's a treat to see you today, too.
thank you.
We get to see
Thank you
this
so
little one
much.
and some of
Yeah.
your other cast of characters, so it's
Enjoy it.
great. We want to thank you all for joining us here on Girl Talk. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.